If you haven't seen any of the videos exposing Sadia Khan for her fraud and her abusive behavior, this is the video you need to see because I've got the smoking gun. So it's good that you're here. I was one of the first people that called her out and confronted her and educated people that she was a fraud and that she was unhinged. And a lot of people had trouble believing me. They may have thought I was being petty because I was jealous or something, but that's not the case. I feel very passionately about this purpose, this cause of integrity and professionalism and protecting the public from the likes of her. So this is how it went down. So these emails are dated July 18th, 2023, over 2 years ago. Now, I disagreed with her on a post of hers about age gaps, and she responded very unprofessionally. And I immediately thought, okay, this is suspect. She can't be a psychologist. Nobody would speak to anybody this way. And I asked her for her credentials. And so she got, really upset and pushed back and started insulting me and said, I'm going to send you my credentials or send me yours. So that was already antagonistic for no reason, because as a professional, you're supposed to be accommodating when people ask for your credentials, because that's part of the job, is to be public about it. And your credentials do not show your personal information, your address and stuff like that. They are client facing, and you have to publicly display them so that it protects the public. So when she got so defensive about that, I already knew that I was going to get a whole bunch of BS from this woman, but I was willing to be proven wrong. And this is what she said in her first email. This is my DHA license, she says. I need an official apology from you and a copy of your license. I'll wait. Kind regards, Sadia Khan. So she included these two attachments, and I'm opening them here. This is her qualified teacher status, and she's got her name and her number, and she also shares a snippet of her Bachelor of Science diploma. This is what she sent me to prove she has a DHA license, which is the Dubai Health Authority license, her psychology license. That's what she's actually claiming this is. So I'm just going to scroll through the email chain. She's asking me to send my license, but I have never claimed to be currently licensed. I always say I'm a retired mental health professional, retired marriage and family therapist, mental health counselor with a PhD in counseling, marriage, couples, and family counseling. So I don't have to give her my license, but I do have pictures of my expired licenses, which I retired in 2019, but I sent her my doctoral degree diploma. And she goes on and on and on about how nowhere in my social media do I show my license. So why are you asking me? She's implying, like, why are you asking me for my license if you're not showing yours? But I'm not saying I'm licensed. So I give her my PhD diploma here, and this is what she comes back with. So you have a doctor in philosophy, which has absolutely nothing to do with couples counseling, which is what you sell. I'm going to come back to that, because next is the smoking gun. Here's when she says, I literally sent you my license number for psychologist, and you are out here pretending to have a credential in a few. So this is the smoking gun, because she is blatantly lying. She's saying that what she has presented is proof that she's a licensed psychologist. I believe she is falsifying the fact that she has a master's and that what she presents is a forgery. And there are reasons for that as well. So I'm just continuing to show you by scrolling through the email correspondence, because I want to be transparent. This was the back and forth that we had over 2 years ago. Ever since then, it has only escalated like in a one-way situation. So I have posted videos educating the public about what I know, and she has tried to harass me, posting abusive and derogatory comments on multiple platforms. I've blocked her everywhere, but YouTube, because you can't block on YouTube. So I've been trying to report her, all her comments for harassment, and that has not worked. I don't know who's backing this woman, but I can't believe it's taken this long to actually expose her. But I've been very measured with the videos that I've posted. I am not being ugly. I'm not being derogatory. I'm simply giving you the facts. And trust me, I did my best vetting and due diligence to find out, kind of like Candace Owens. I really respect the work that she does. I think she is great. And this is how I have come to the conclusions that I have. So this is some more of her BS. Like, she's coming up with all kinds of excuses to try to distract from the point that she doesn't have a license. So she's putting it back all on me. But I have all the receipts that you could ask for, and I'm happy to give them to you because you know why? I'm proud of them. I'm proud of my PhD. I'm proud of my licenses. I'm happy that I retired them because it was my choice to transition into an online coach and leave the practice behind because I was traveling the world and I was prioritizing my personal life and I wanted to leave the profession. So here is the smoking gun that you have been looking for. If you have been, kind of giving her reasonable doubt, like she's not actually claiming to be a psychologist. Yes, she is. She has since figured out that people are onto her and she has been scrambling to try to cover her butt. So she went online to this place that has certificates of completion for various courses, and one was psychotherapy, one was, I don't know, relationships, and it's bogus. It's not formal education. It does not substantiate having any kind of clinical experience or degree in mental health, and she's just a teacher. And she can call herself a coach and she can do all that she's doing. She just cannot claim to be a psychologist. She has a bachelor's in psychology and likely does not have a master's. I know that she doesn't have any kind of clinical experience. Allegedly, she was fired from her jobs for bad behavior. And that makes sense to me because she's consistently badly behaved to everybody with no discrimination. So I'm sure that if people actually hired a private investigator or the police took this seriously, because it is criminal fraud here, she's defrauding innocent people who hire her thinking she is a actual licensed psychologist, and she's doing damage to them. She needs to be held accountable. She needs to face the consequences of that. I don't want her to, rot in jail. I want her to own up to her behavior and get the help that she needs. But some of the evidence that I have for thinking that her master's is fake is that when she would have been in her master's, the dean at the time, he's since died. But the diploma that she shows is of the new dean when she didn't attend. So that's weird. And there is a link that you can click and go straight to buy this diploma from the place that she claims to have a master's in. And it's a master's in education, not in psychology even. Her field of study that she claims that she has as her master's wouldn't even put her on track to get a clinical designation. So she is not a therapist in any way. She doesn't have any of that training. She is an academic bachelor's level psychology teacher, and she cannot misdirect the public and make you think that she is legit, because she is not. She is well-spoken on camera, but not in reality. So there is a big disconnect here. And I know now that I'm not the only one concerned. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But I hope that sharing this with you was helpful. And I hope that it helps to show and prove that she has claimed that she is a psychologist, even if she is now being a little bit more careful. There are plenty of instances where she presents herself as having such clinical experience when she has not. And the last thing I want to leave you with is, I don't want this to come across as like a mean girl thing. I shared this in my stories, but this is just another way that I believe Sadia Khan is a complete and utter fraud. Plastic surgery is, a reality. A lot of people get work done, and Lindsay Lohan, she's having this big glow up and we can all cheer and be happy that she has, but she's owned up to the mistakes of her past. And she's not denying that she's had work done, right? It's obvious that she's had work done. But my concern is that Sadia Khan has completely scrubbed the internet of who she really is. And she leverages other real Sadia Khan's identities to boost this persona that she projects online. This is significant con artist behavior. This is pathological. This is criminal. And so supposedly, allegedly, she has had a whole bunch of plastic surgery, really, really good plastic surgery. And a lot of people have ideas of who they think it might be looking for pictures online, but there are other Sadia Khans that are legit that don't really look like her, but they may resemble her in certain ways, but they're not her because they actually exist. They're real other people. But I came across a picture from someone who sent it to me explaining their context of how they know Sadia Khan, but she mistreated them and now they are not in any kind of friendship with her. And so they felt obligated to share this information. And I think this is actually the real Sadia Khan. I do not have proof of that at this point, but I am trying to get it. But you be the judge. Is this the real Sadia Khan before plastic surgery? You be the judge. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them below. I will answer them to the best of my ability. And let me know if you have had an interaction with Sadia Khan, because I know you probably feel very alone and isolated, like nobody has believed you, and it was so strange and bizarre how she acted. This is the place to collect all of those stories. Maybe it will come in handy one day.